Alrighty. Well, over this year I've been reading a lot of books and bits and pieces to do with business stuff, and as time's cranked on, I have gone through a number of them. There's a few in there. There's another one there. That's Art of the Deal. Another one sitting on the kitchen table. And shit. The other one I was reading's in my car. Still, I've got to get back to reading it. I've been playing with firewood so much. So anyway, I've been going through all these books. Read a lot of business books, you know, Robert Kiyosaki, Trump, Michael Gerber, whatever his name is. You know, I've watched the movie Jobs, you know, about Steve Jobs. I've seen documentaries on Jobs, Warren Buffett, oh fuck you, name them. Fucking just about everyone. What's the other one? Ray Kroc, the founder, that's the one. I bought that movie. I bought the Jobs movie. I got a stack of stuff in regards to documentaries and bits and pieces and books. And I've been going through piles and piles and piles of this stuff, and sort of seeing where they differ and what they think. And you know, there is actually common thread amongst all of this. Now, in regards to getting rich, pretty much all of them have a common thread on how to do it. But first of all, I've got to talk about human nature and the way that people do stuff. A lot of the times, people do it literally. They go out and they do something. You know, get a job, do this, do that. And there's a whole stack of shit in life where you just can't aim directly. You know, you can't really come up to someone and just say, you know, I am going to make you a Christian, and bang, you just make them a Christian. It doesn't really work like that. You know, it's the same with cats. Cats is one of the best examples. You get people who have always dealt with dogs, and they get a cat and they can't understand cats. And they come out with this idea that cats, you know, you can't give them commands and you can't get them to come when you want them to come and this and that and blah blah. Well, it's one of these things. If you aim directly for it, you know, it's not really going to happen if you aim directly for it. And some people don't understand it enough, don't try enough, don't observe enough, and just try and force something to happen. And I tell you that cats cannot be commanded to come inside and do this and do that. Well, not if you do it directly. But over time, you can learn. And with cats, it's never direct. It's very indirect. You can get them to do certain things, and I can get my cat to come to me. And I can get it to come inside the house. I can get it to come inside the bedroom. And she may turn around and go, what am I doing in here? And walk outside again 20 minutes later. 20 seconds later, rather. But I can call it into the house, and then I can call it into my bedroom. Sometimes she brings mice inside. And she plays with it. And I start yelling out, just eat it. I start saying it, and then it gets to the point of yelling it. By the time there's that, if I notice, I put a deliberate, just eat it, urgency in my voice, she will eat the damn thing. Pretty much within a second or two of my urgency coming into my voice. She will eat mice when I tell her to. Especially if I sound like I'm getting pissed off or get a bit of urgency in the voice. Same goes with getting rich. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get rich. And they got all these fucking stereotypes, you know. You got to be cunning, you got to be, you know, shrewd, you got to be ruthless, and all this fucking crap. Most of it born of a scarcity mentality. Most of it born of the me, grab, grab, grab mentality. When you're all scrambling like rats, like there isn't enough, guess what? There won't be enough. I have seen, I think it was Peter Jones made a show on the BBC, and he's like the Shark Tank in the UK, you know. He made a documentary to find out the traits that make people rich. Is it grit and determination? And, you know, and he come across the guy who has the big juice brand called Innocent. And he pushed and he forced and he shoved and he carried on, and he finally, the guy wouldn't admit it because there was nothing to admit, because it was a lie, and eventually he had to have a voiceover on the show and just put it into a voiceover and pretend that I finally cracked it. This guy is shrewd and he is cunning and he's, you know, he's a hippie with a calculator, but he's a shrewd, cunning businessman that gets other people on board with his idea. No. He is going to be one of the few wealthy people who does not seem to get it, or at least makes it, lets scarcity mentality, poor people who want to be rich hear what they want to hear in his documentary on Coming Rich. His one goes against every other damn one that I've come across. And, you know, really what it's all about is you don't aim directly for money. As soon as you aim directly for money, as soon as your scarcity mentality, you know, shrewd, cunning, no. One of the best answers that will make you explain it all is Simon Sinek's, hang on, I've got him on my phone here. Simon Sinek's Start With Why. And quite simply, you have to start with why you do what you do. Now, he's got another book on how to find your passion. And once you've worked out what your passion is, then you follow it. And then for your marketing, for your dealing with people and all that, you don't tell them what product you've got, you tell them why you do what you do. There's what he calls the golden circle. And there's, you know, the who we are, how we, you know, do what, and why we do it. And if you go and watch that, you'll understand a lot more about it all. It's why places have cult followings, like Apple, like Harley Davidson. And the key of it all is that you ain't going to go out there like a bull at a gate after money, because you will get nowhere. You've got to go with a passion and a goal, and in that you will sweep other people up, and other people will join your organisation, and you will develop a cult following, not only of customers but of employees, where you're all striving towards a great goal. And like many people who worked on the job said, he was very hard, but by hell we achieved something. Same people said it with Walt Disney. You know, he's very hard, but our cartoons come out looking perfect, not like second-rate shit. You know, and they hate the place, but then they love it because they're so proud of what they were pushed to achieve. Now, it's not all about pushing people like sweatshop workers, but I think we better sum it up with Gordon Ramsay.
I never cooked for money. Let's get that right. And I never went into a restaurant to become a fucking multi-millionaire. I'm going to be honest as shit here. So I didn't start this career because I wanted to become famous. I didn't start because I wanted to write 20 books or have TV shows. You know, I had a burning desire to get to the very top.
There you go. He had a burning desire to do the best he could do and be the best he could be. You got to follow your passion, and
finding your passion in life is the most important thing you can do.
Like I just said,
stop worrying about a bonus and a financial security. Find a passion, because everything else falls into place once you've got that track set to climb the ladder and you're passionate about it. Being a chef for me was not about flipping burgers and dressing Caesar salad. You know, for me it was about getting to the very top.
It's about having a passion and being the best you could do. Doing the best you could do. Being the best you could be. And that's it, really, in a nutshell. And Trump has mentioned it in one of his books. He's mentioned it in a speech that was in his book. But let's cut the shit here and just go straight to the book. Out of the deal. His very first words were, "Don't use compact fluorescent lights. I don't do it for the money. I've got enough, much more than I'll ever need. I do it to do it. Deals are my art form. Other people will paint beautifully on canvas or write wonderful poetry. I like making deals, preferably big deals. That's how I get my kicks." AKA, that's his passion. That's what it is in a nutshell. You know, you've got to have a passion, and you've got to thrive to be the best you can be. I tell you what, that book there is a fucking ripper, this one. All about thriving to be the best you can be. And it mentions other stuff like McDonald's. And one of the best ones of all, on top of all this, is to have a business system. And this is the thing. Michael Gerber says you can work in a business, and there are people who have worked in the hamburger business years and years and years, doing it, but they're never going to be what Ray Kroc become. They're never going to have this sort of, you know, McDonald's empire that Ray Kroc had. Because the difference is between working in your business and working on your business. If you work every day in a business, you're basically a self-employed ham and egger. You know, Ray Kroc, pretty much, except from just cleaning up the car park and doing a few other things, he pretty much never flipped burgers. No. He got employees to do it. He worked on the systems and processes used in his business and worked on the business himself because that was where he was best placed. And he had friggin' single mums, teenagers, whoever else is working in the business while he worked on the business. There's a massive difference. And that same idea that Michael Gerber talks about, that Ray Kroc had, is also re-talked about by, he's looking old now, Robert Kiyosaki. I've got another book somewhere. Oh, it's the one I'm reading. He looks a lot better than that. And there it is. He refers to it as a cash flow quadrant. And he talks about